Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining me for yet again another great video where I'm going to discuss things that are related to parenting, okay? And I guess those that are already parents, right? Um, they're going to obviously be able to relate to this video, right? And they're going to understand where I'm coming from, and kind of they're going to be the ones that will take the most out of this video, right? So if you're not a parent, don't feel bad, okay? I've got more videos for you that will not be parenting or child related, right? And the reason why I'm not so much focused on just doing kid videos, right, or videos that are related to parenting is because my life already, revolves so much around my kiddo, right, and just like raising him and learning new information that relates to him, right, that I feel like this YouTube channel, right, is more like of my personal content. It's more, I mean, my own personal outlet, right? It allows me kind of to express myself, and I don't have to talk about my kid. I don't have to talk about parenting. It kind of like allows me because we're not at the end of the day we're not just parents, right? Parents are not just parents. They have their own identities, right? And sometimes by having kids, or when we do have kids, we often kind of lose ourselves in that parenting role, right? And so I didn't want that. I wanted to kind of maintain my individuality still, right? And because we are individuals, right, with our own unique pasts, right, and thoughts and things that we like to do and not like to do, right? So sometimes all of that goes out the window when you have a child, right? So I didn't want this YouTube channel to be just another one of those things, basically, that kind of I don't know, kind of like allows me to lose my identity even more, right? So yeah, that's why that's why you will see so much other content that is not related to child rearing, right? And so on, right? On my YouTube channel. Anyways, but this video is going to be about raising your kids, right? And how you can keep your sanity while raising your kids, and how you can remain happy, and uh, even how you can maintain that separate identity, and not really lose yourself in your role, or in this experience as a parent, right? Because everything is an experience, right? So yeah, guys, let's get into it. Becoming a parent is obviously it's a gift from God, right? It's truly a gift to us, and um, but at the same time, it doesn't mean that it's not gonna have its challenges, right? It doesn't mean that it's not gonna challenge us sometimes in every way, right? Physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, right? I believe the role of a parent really, at the end of the day, it really does serve to better us, to humble us, to make us less selfish, and to make us grow as people overall, right? And to ultimately bring us closer to God, right? Because that's what it's all about, right? I think this life is mostly about becoming better human beings, right? And we just have to see the lessons in that, right? And learn from our kids, right? So ultimately, having kids will teach you a great deal, right? And you will know, as a new parent, it starts right from the start, from teaching you how to be more patient, right? To teaching you how to react in a more positive and compassionate manner, right? To really to understand, really truly understand where another person is coming from, right? To, I don't know, seeing things from their perspective, right? And so it does teach us so much, guys. You have no idea how much I already learned as a new parent, and my kid is almost 4, right? And I'm still learning, because every stage is so different. And I realized that, you know, just when you thought that like one difficult stage was over, another one pops up, and then another one, and then another one. I guess, I don't know, right? We've been through so many different stages and they're growing so fast. Just when you're used to, because as adults, right, everything slows down for us, right? We're not used to so much change, right? In fact, we are used to like consistency. We're used to stability, and we're not used to being around someone who changes so rapidly, right? Whose brain develops so rapidly that you cannot keep up. One day they're this way, and then another they're that way, right? So it's extremely hard to adapt, especially if you're not an adaptable kind of a person, if you don't adapt well to change, right? But this is all there is. And like another thing that I guess this teaches you is that nothing in life is constant, right? Everything always changes, right? And nothing will last forever also, guys. So if you are going through a difficult stage with your kiddo, just remember that you will get out of it eventually. It will be over, and you'll move on to another fun stage, right? Anyways, no, I'm just kidding. Well, kind of, right? I don't know, right? Anyways, at the end of the day, I only have so much experience, right? Because my kid is only 4, and I can only imagine, right? And of course, I can read about it, right? But in reality, in life, everything is always different. Anyway, so guys, today I will just talk to you about my own personal ways that I make parenting more fun, okay, and easier to deal with, and how I realized that parenting is all about, it's not about following trends, it's not about doing what everyone else is doing. It's ultimately about what makes you happy too, okay? Because a happy parent is a good parent, right? So you have to take care of yourself, okay, first, and then you can take care of another person well, right? So you always have to think about that too, if you think that, sacrificing all of your needs, letting your kiddo walk all over you, if you think that, just dedicating your entire life to your child is the smart thing to do, I don't think that's the answer, okay? I think eventually this way of living, this way of being will only have you, being resentful and angry and just unfulfilled, So I think there has to be this balance, right? And you, as a parent, you have to remain or maintain this balance whereas you take care of yourself, and then you take care of your kiddos needs too, and yeah. So yeah, anyways, guys, so the first so in this video I'm going to give you I'm gonna talk about how you can make parenting more fun for yourself, right? And yeah, let's get into it. All right, guys. Anyway, so the first thing that you have to understand, guys, is that you have to, especially as a new parent, right? You have to sometimes lower your expectations, okay? And especially if your kids are very young, right? My kid is not even 4, he's like 3 and 9, right? And, because I didn't understand the developmental stages that kids go through, right? Sometimes I almost like treated him like an adult, right? And I still do. I still make this mistake sometimes, right? And guys, at some point I was punishing him for things that he didn't deserve to be punished for, right? So I would like send him to timeout or something, right? Or I would get mad at him for something, right? But that was a huge mistake, guys. And eventually I looked into it because my intuition just told me, like, wait a minute, this isn't right, right? I don't feel right about this. Because I didn't feel right about something, right, that I was doing, I was like, wait a minute, this is not the right thing to do, right? Obviously. So maybe I will have to learn more about this, right? So I went and researched, and I learned, right, that kids go through different developmental stages, and their brains, are not always ready for, things like, for example, impulse control, right? And or other things, right? So they have to be ready, right? They have to actually be able to do it. They have to have the skills in order to do something, right, that you want them to do. And if they don't have those skills, if you haven't taught them how to do something, or if they're not capable of doing it because of brain development, right, because they haven't develop their brain enough, right, then they won't be able to do it, right? And so punishing them for something like that is just out of question, right? It shouldn't be done. It's not fair to them, right? And so be careful, guys. Don't realize that you shouldn't be punishing your kiddo for doing something that they're not capable of doing yet, right? So yes, that's one thing that I learned, and that you should definitely think about, right? Don't treat them as young adults. Don't treat them as adults, right? Because they're kids. Their brain is developing, and they're not ready for a lot of things, and they're not capable of doing a lot of things, right? Like, that's the reason why a lot of kids they have to be told what to do over and over again, right? Because like, I think at around age 3 or something, right, they might know what to do, right? They might understand you, but they don't have the impulse control. They're not able to control themselves from not doing the thing that you don't want them to do, So that's like just one example of that, right? So don't punish them for that, Understand that from, when they're toddlers, for the most part, they're not being bad. They're not bad kids, um, they want to have a relationship with you. They want to listen to you. They want to do the right thing. They're just not sometimes capable of it, and that's all. Or they're curious about things, right? Or what to you might seem bad, right? To them, it's just like an experiment. They're just trying things out, right? So just remember the developmental stages, right? And learn about them. You guys, another thing that you should definitely think about doing is letting go of control, okay? You guys, I can't tell you how many times I've seen, like, parents get really pissed off about, actually, I've been there myself. I've done this myself, so it's not just other parents, it's me too, right? I made this mistake of, like, trying to control everything, right? Trying to control my kiddo and his actions, trying to control, whether he gets dirty, right? And honestly, at the end of the day, all of this control and all of these expectations of the way that things should be, it just leaves me drained. It leaves me angry. It doesn't allow room for a spontaneity, right? It doesn't allow a room for fun, right? So what my kiddo has taught me, right, is that by letting go of control sometimes, guys, allowing things to just be, right, and to just come to us, I feel an automatic sense of relief. I have more fun. I become more easygoing, right? So let's just say, I'll give you an example of this, right? Maybe we're going somewhere, right? And maybe, before we leave the house, I have this, like, linear way of thinking, like, okay, we're gonna get to the park, we're gonna do this, that, and we're gonna do that, right? But with kids, you know fully well that's not gonna happen, right? Because they want to stop here, they want to stop there, they maybe want to go into a different direction, right? So your path to whatever you were going, it's probably going to like end up being like more like this than linear, right? So just remember that, keep that in mind. Sometimes go with the flow, you know. And not just that, right? But also, for example, if your kiddo wants to get dirty, right? Let them get dirty, guys. You know, playing in the mud, right? Or I don't know, playing in the sand, right? Or just splashing in the water, right? That's how they experiment life. That's how they experiment with nature. That's how they, you know, that's how they have fun, also, right? So just remember that you know, and you, by allowing this process to happen, not only do you allow them to express themselves to their fullest, right, but you also let go of control. By letting go of control, you get a sense of relief. You also have fun more. And you don't have to worry about the dirty clothes. The dirty clothes, you can wash it, right? It's not like you are not doing a whole bunch of laundry anyways, right? You probably do, right? Like as a parent, you know, we do so much laundry, it's like it's not even funny, right? But so yeah, so what's another load? It's not gonna, you know, it doesn't matter, right? They're not porcelain dolls that are meant to be kept in a museum, right? They're little human beings who want to experience this life, who want to experiment, right? So let them get dirty. It's fine, right? You'll wash it all later anyways. You'll probably have to wash it anyways, right? So yeah. So this control, right? I would say it applies in many different situations, right? But by letting go of control, in most cases we begin to feel calmer, we become more relaxed, and we let sometimes our spirit take the reins, right? And we allow our spirit to guide us into situations that will ultimately bring us more joy and that are more fun. Will If we let go of control, we can let spirit guide us into different places that we've never been to before, and so on, right? So this will ultimately kind of like color our lives, right? It's gonna make our life more fun, more enjoyable, right? So there's a time and a place for routine and structure, right? But there's also a time and a place to just completely let go and allow, right? Okay, guys, so another thing that I highly recommend is if you're not already doing this, but do housework together, okay? You know, make sure that your kids are doing chores, and even if they are small kids, right? First of all, they're going to, when they're small, they still find these things fun, right? So take advantage of that. You know, a lot of us parents, especially single parents, right? We have a lot of housework to do. We have to clean this and we have to clean that, and all this kind of like bogs us down, right? It like drains us, right? So instead of you know, it draining you, right, why don't you split up the responsibilities? You know, why don't you, for example, let your kiddo wash the windows, right, or wash the refrigerator while you're sweeping or something, right? Or maybe if he's a little bit older, let him sweep, right? So and you know, it's not only good for you, right, because it kind of preserves your energy, right, but it's also good because your kiddo will understand that you guys are a family, right? You do things together as a family, right? So it's everyone's responsibility to take care of the household, right? It's not just yours, right? So this teaches them like the value of hard work, right? It works on their motor skills, right? It literally develops their brains too, right? So you know, use that to your advantage and teach them the responsibility, right? Teach them the value of hard work. Teach them to you know, to work as a team, right, to accomplish something, right? So you know, this will serve them, guys. In the future they'll be better partners, right? In the future they'll value their partners more because of it, right? If their partner is doing something like that around the house, right, they will know that it's not just free labor, right? It takes energy, right? And so that's not free, right? So they will understand this, right? So you know, start when they're small. You guys, so another tip to you is that, you know, have selfish days, okay? Have days when you don't do the typical, going to the park, right? Or doing whatever your kid wants to do once again, right? You don't have to do things in a typical manner. You don't have to live in a certain way, right? You can adjust and, um, kind of mold what you want to do with what your kid needs and thrives in, and things like that, right? So it doesn't always have to be about them, okay? In fact, like I said before, right, you guys should take care of yourselves, right? In order to take care of another person better, we need to take care of ourselves, okay? And then we can be better mothers, better fathers, right? So have selfish days where even if your kiddo is around, just go where you want to go, and do the things that you want to do, and just have your kiddo follow along. I'm sure they will also learn from that. I'm not saying to take them into like a bar, right? Of course not, right? But um do what, I don't know, where go where you ultimately want to go, right? It doesn't have to be to a park. Maybe you want to take a nature hike, go to see some waterfalls, right? Maybe you want to go to the movies, maybe, I don't know, right? Wherever you want to go. Or maybe you want to go get your nails done, right? Then take your kiddo there, bring some books, bring some toys with you, and get your nails done. I don't know, right? Or something else that you want to do. In other words, just, remember that this life isn't just about them. Just because you have a kid, it doesn't mean that your whole life has to revolve around them and their needs, right? You're your own unique individual. You also have your needs, and you should be able to have those needs met too. Otherwise, once again, you'll be like one of those parents on the internet saying that you resent having children, right? Saying that you feel really unfulfilled in this parenting role and so on, right? So just remember, there's absolutely nothing wrong with taking care of your needs too, okay? And doing the things that you want to do and doing the things that you enjoy doing, right? Even with a kiddo, okay? So you guys, coffee breaks, or well, I'm not gonna say coffee because I don't drink it anymore, but tea breaks, okay? Tea breaks are my favorite, okay, guys? Tea breaks are amazing, and whenever I'm feeling drained or whenever I start to get like kind of annoyed by things, right, and kind of almost angry, I know it's my time to take a time out as a parent, right? So take as many time outs as you need. There isn't no set rule that tells you to not take them, right? So as a parent, to take a time out, right, is much, much better than to yell at your kid, right? Or to get so angry that you cannot handle, your that those feelings, and that they end up blowing up, right? And of course, as you know, right, yelling is it's like spanking, right? Research has been done, and they showed that yelling has the same of effect on the child as spanking, right? So it is extremely imperative to avoid yelling, right? And of course avoid spanking. But I've been there before, guys. I'm not perfect, right? And I still have I'm still struggling with this, right? And that's one of the things that I find to be extremely helpful, is to to recognize when those that annoyance starts to manifest itself, right? And before letting it get too far, kind of to take a parenting time out, and just go get some tea, or just sit quietly in another room while your kiddo plays with something, right? And just to, and if you have a camera on top of it, right, and that's a huge plus too, right? Because you know what they're doing, right? So yeah, take those timeouts. Take them whenever you feel like you need to, right? They're really helpful, and they will help you be a better parent, and they will also uh, prevent, you know, harmful explosions from happening, right? So guys, oftentimes, right, we find ourselves in a parenting role, right? Where and then we're unhappy, right? We become very unhappy, or perhaps we think it's a role as a parent that is making us unhappy, right? And the reason being, of course, right? And once again, sorry, I'm gonna go back to this, right? Once again, it does have to do with your mindset, right? And but not only that, but it all also has to do with you know, your happiness to begin with. Like, were you a happy person before having kids? You know, and are you maybe blaming your kids for making you unhappy when in reality it's your job to make you happy? It's no one else's job, right? And so maybe your kiddos are just a scapegoat, you know, for your unhappiness that you always had, right? And so, you know, at the end of the day, guys, you have to do some soul searching, okay? And really get to the bottom of what is making you unhappy. Is it really the diapers that you have to clean up, and your kids' tantrums that, you know, are very challenging to deal with, right? Or is it at the end of the day because maybe you feel unfulfilled? Maybe you feel like you are not challenging yourself mentally enough. Maybe you've always wanted to do certain things, and you've never done them, or you know, maybe you're afraid of doing certain things, right? And you've never kind of like faced your fears, right? And because of that, that kind of ultimately leads you to feel unhappier, right, in your life. You know, so there can be many reasons for our unhappiness, right? But at the end of the day, make sure that you're not making your kiddo the scapegoat. Make sure you're not blaming them for the way that they're making you feel, right? Because guys, also, you know, we cannot control our someone's the way someone is behaving, right? But we can control our reaction to it, right? And the way that we allow that action to make us feel, right? So this is ultimately, guys, in our hands, right? We have that power, and that's very powerful, right? So just realize this, guys, and you know, do some soul searching, explore what is making you unhappy, right? And don't blame your kiddo for it, okay? You guys, another amazing tip for you is that find something that you both enjoy doing, or you all enjoy doing, right? It doesn't have to be, you know, it doesn't always have to be what your kid enjoys doing per se, right? Uh, there are so many different activities that you can do, and you know, why not find something that interests both of you? You know, because at the end of the day, right, there isn't just a single thing that, for example, develops their brain, right? You can always find multiple or many different things that develop their brains, right? So you can you know, that's the key, right? You guys can find something that you both enjoy doing. For example, right, like I like playing with Legos, right? I used to love Legos as a kid, right? I also enjoy sports, right? So I discovered that my kiddo also likes sports, right? He also likes Legos, so we can do all of those things together now, right? And I don't dread those activities, right? I don't have to sit there pretending, you know. And you know what? If you have to, if there's an activity that your kiddo, you know, likes to do, right, and you don't, then let them know that you don't really want to play that game, you know. Yes, sometimes you do have to kind of suck it up, right? But not always. Not always. Like I said, it's about also sometimes it's about finding common ground. This way you don't drain yourself completely as a parent, right? So yeah, having kids does not have to be boring, guys. You know, you can find things that you like to do. You can teach your kiddo things, right? And this will ultimately add to your emotional bank and not do the opposite, right? Or take your energy away. So yeah, you know, parenting is it can be very draining, very challenging enough as it is, right? So why not find activities that don't drain you, you know? So but you have to know yourself, right? And you you know you have to explore also different things, right? So look online, you know, to see what might interest both of you. You know, ask your kid or introduce him or her to that activity, right? And yeah, before you know it, you guys will be like having fun, right? You won't be drained. Guys, and last but not least, allow your kiddos to be bored, okay? You're not a clown, okay? You don't need to entertain them 24/7, okay? Sure, kids need stimulation, right? But once again, too much of everything is a bad thing, right? Life is all about balance, right? And also, guys, we are human beings, right? So allow your kiddo to just be, right? Be a human being, to sit in stillness, to, well, not not to sit in stillness. That's not what I meant to say, right? Of course, kids have a lot of energy, right? So they're probably going to be running around like crazy, right? Especially if they're boys. But what I mean is to you know, to sit with themselves, to play by themselves, you know, to use their imagination, right? Because when they aren't watching videos, right? Because when they aren't stimulated by something, right? They have to use and explore their imagination, right? So this allows them to you know, to develop their creativity, right? By you know, telling them, okay, it's up to you what you do, right? You have, you know, half an hour to do whatever you like, right? This allows them to think of ways to keep themselves entertained, right? So they don't always look to you to you know, to kind of like keep them entertained, right? So in turn, guys, this develops independence too, right? They're not just going to be relying on you to stimulate them, right? They're going to rely on themselves, right? And so that's a great thing too, you know. Not too long ago, I read about this you know, this person, right? I don't remember, I think it was a girl, right? And the girl, she was always entertained by her parents, right? Her parents took her everywhere. They planned her days all the time, her weeks, right? And it was it was like this basically until she went off to college, right? And basically when she did go on to college, she realized that you know, the college life wasn't as structured, right? That she had a lot of free time to do whatever, right? And she just did not cope well, okay, because of that. Because she was so used to her parents doing everything for her, right? And so, yeah, guys, you know, sometimes, and especially nowadays, we have to let go of control, right? We have to allow and believe in our kids. We have to allow things to happen. We have to believe in our kids' abilities to do the things for themselves by themselves. Okay, kids learn the most, you know, by doing things on their own, guys. You know, my parent, guys, and I can tell you this because my own mom, you know, she didn't care at all about what we did, you know. She was really narcissistic, right? And she just cared about her own things. right? But at the end of the day, I'm also grateful for that too, because she just did not care what I did. And of course, I had to learn certain things the hard way, right? Because I didn't have that structure. But at the end of the day, because she didn't care, I had to care, and I I developed a greater independence. I learned from my mistakes, right, and I got smarter and better as a result. So yeah, remember that there has to be a balance, right, in everything, and that includes allowing your kids to just develop their own kind of um, abilities, right? And so yeah. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Please subscribe if you like. And yeah, I'm glad to have you here. Thank you for watching till the end. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys all again. Have a good one. Bye.